I am Vinnie Tortorich, folks. Your good intentions have been stolen. Don't worry. I'm here to help you get them back. You may be soft and succulent at the beginning of this process, but hang in there. Before long, you'll be lean and mean. Yeah, that's right. I'm your captain, and you're listening to Grand Funk Railroad. But you know what? You can also be listening to Anna Vocino in just a second. It's the Monday show. Anna's got a new book coming out, Eat Happy Kitchen, Italian style. Yeah, I can't wait to get a hold of that. Finally, I could get from underneath Marie's good cooking and eat Anna's food. Yeah, I'm your captain. That's right. I'm going to be your captain. You know what, Anna? From now on, there she is, folks, everybody. Anna Vocino, yeah.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, everyone loves her. Anna, from now on, call me Cappy.
Cappy?
Yeah, why not? I'm going to be your captain.
Are you, do you sail boats?
No, but
I feel like Cappy definitely sails boats.
I can, I have a boat. I have 2 kayaks. And I've learned to row. As a matter of fact, I passed my captain test. So
okay.
I'm captain of the boathouse. I can take boats out. So I guess you can call me Cappy.
Okay, you're Cappy then.
Okay.
Next stop, sailboats.
Yeah. Well, you know, I do know how to sail.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, we can sail.
We can play the Southern Cross and just sail a ship.
No, wait. You know what? We
play the Southern Cross on a loop.
No, we could do this one step better.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
Today oh, go ahead. Sorry. I was getting to what we were going to talk about today, but
we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about exercise 101.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Southern Cross. Would you believe I have that pulled up? It was already pulled up.
You had to get all of your boat themed songs.
Yeah. Yeah. Southern Cross.
Well, the Cross was a big sailor. He liked to sail.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was. He liked to sail and he liked to smoke a lot of pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And get drunk.
And eat a lot of sugar.
Mm-hmm. I met him. I met him before he died at the Adam Carolla show. I actually listened to that show after, you know, I didn't listen to any of the episodes I was on, but I listened to his part.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Because I met him that day. One of the most interesting interviews Adam Carolla's ever done, bar none.
Oh, yeah. His life was fascinating.
Yeah, David Crosby was just wide open. He can ask him anything.
And of course, Lauren Tarquinio met him on several occasions and then talked to him for a second and then ran away.
Yeah.
Because he just couldn't process meeting one of his favorite dudes, you know? And like, I get that. You know, some people you talk to, like, I don't care. And then other people
like, yeah, look, the day I met him, you know, it's a quick transition. He was taking over my seat in the studio, but I felt like I could have stayed there for 5 hours. And
he's like super friendly, or he was. Yeah. He was super friendly and eager to talk and chat. And, you know, you'd see him all over the place in the valley up here.
Yeah.
And he was talking to everybody. He was the mayor, you know?
Yeah. Look, and he is missed. You can go to the Rumble, folks. That's where I put these shows up, on the Rumble. And I'm also on the X. You can go check me out there. Doing it everywhere. Anna, we're going to do before we do the 101, I want to go back to, you know, I just got a message from Original Kim.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, I need the recipe for your protein crime. And I said, hey, you want to get it straight from the horse's mouth, go right to Anna's thing, and it's called Bachelor's Chili.
Yeah, I call it Vinnie's Protein Crime, or AKA Bachelor's Chili. I put all the keywords in, so it's easy to find.
So go there, Kim, and you don't have to have me bang it out and forget to tell you 5 things. Anna will tell you over at...
no need to retype it. I already typed it up.
Yeah, well,
and there's a printable version.
Where do they find that, Anna?
This would be at annavocino.com.
Free?
And do
I have to pay for it?
No, you don't have to pay for it.
Oh, really? It's there for free. Wow. Okay. Boom. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you have it.
Mm-hmm. Bonus.
Size 101. Now, you know, we do this once a year, sometimes twice a year. It's the end, you know, this is coming out the first week of February. Today, we're recording this on the last day of January,
right?
The 31st. And as you know, I like to do the 365 hours of aerobics per year. But I also put what I call baffles in there, right? So every month I have to cover at least a number of days in the month. So it's 31 days in this month. So I had to cover 31 hours of aerobics in this month. In other words, in those months when I start training to go up mountains and stuff, you know, I start banging out a lot of hours. but I want it to be spread out throughout the year, right? That's part of the exercise. So this month was very difficult. I got to 32 hours today on the
Mm-hmm.
31st.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did 90 minutes. I was under my goal. I was at 30 hours and 30 minutes. I did 90 minutes on a rowing machine to get to 32 hours.
And that's good in the winter. So that means you're doing mostly indoor stuff, right? You're not like going out for a run or a bike ride
well, no,
because
most
of your
of it's
weather.
indoors. Yeah, there's no going on the water and kayaking or, not a whole lot of
Mhm.
hiking. But Anna, if you remember at the beginning of this month, I had the COVID. And
That's right. So you made up some serious time.
yeah, I missed several days. A couple of days during the COVID, I worked out. I did it, but mostly the workouts was with weights. Whenever I tried to do something aerobically, I would go down really fast, like a battery just draining, right? So there were several days where I missed, or maybe I even started, and after 15 minutes, I decided it wasn't a good idea because I was coughing my brains out, and got off the bike or whatever.
Right.
But true to form, figured out a way, rallied. Now, you'll go, Vin, did you do all your weightlifting routines and everything? No, I missed some of them this month because the short-term goal was to rally back and get the 31 hours at least of aerobics. You see how that works? Now, did I give up lifting at the gym? No. But when I went there on weeks when I knew, like I would go, okay, this week I'm going to only get one leg routine in. So when I went in there to do that leg routine, I went harder, right? I did more than I would normally do.
Okay.
Because I knew it might be 6-7 days before I do another leg routine, because I can look down the road and see what's happening, right?
Right.
I'm saying all of this because you guys have to figure out the same thing. Life is not cut and dry. I do this for a living, and I can't get it cut and dry, right? So I want that to be a lesson, not just for me to learn, but for you guys to learn, where with the messy thing of life, and now Serena is gone, she's still out there acting her brains out in Hollywood. I'm running the whole operation around here on top of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
There's cats, there's dogs, there's petting zoos. We got,
you guys do have quite a zoo.
yeah. And, I got to run the house, and this happens, that happens, on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes it difficult too. So this is an exercise 101, but I want you guys to realize life is messy and you got to work around it. And just because you miss today or tomorrow, this might be the most important thing I say today.
Okay.
You might miss this. Don't go, oh, I missed 2 in a row. Fuck it. I'm done. But no, just go do it. Just like wiping your ass and brushing your teeth. It's a habit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even though you had to miss something because of this and that, you get right back on it. Right.
Right.
So just know that. Now, not everybody belongs to a gym. You might not have one close to you, what have you. You don't need a gym. If you got space in your house, you can create a small gym. But Vinny, I don't have money. Okay. Most of my life, I didn't have 2 dimes to rub together. I didn't have a pot to pee in or a window to throw it out of. But guess what? I figured out ways to have equipment around, right?
Right.
There's a little Facebook marketplace thing people do. People go to the other place. What do they call the other place? The eBay.
Craigslist.
And Craigslist. They go to all these different places. And you can find stuff for pennies on the dollar. But Vinny, I don't have room. Okay, here comes another excuse. You don't have to have a lot of room. Even though I have a gym area in here, you see the rack behind me, I have stuff tucked away. Yeah, you got to pull it out to use it. But how hard is that? If you're motivated to do something, you do it, right? And you don't need a lot of equipment. Well, Vinny, I live in an apartment. I can't get any equipment in this apartment. I live in 700 square feet. Okay. That's when you want to get something like a TRX or a, knockoff version.
What's the TRX? The bands?
Yeah, I got some look, Anna, I got some. You want to see them? I'm going to go over there. Watch. You talk. People won't be able to hear.
What I'm doing right now, I live in a smaller town. So I just went to Facebook Marketplace and I'm looking up exercise equipment.
You see what I got going on here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with the yellow. That's the TRX yellow bands. Now he's doing something. Oh, he needs wireless headphones. So that's the TRX yellow bands. What do you use those for? Do they have a stretch to them, or are they
No, no, no,
adjustable?
no.
How do they work?
They're
Explain
static.
TRX.
All right. So TRX is a couple of straps and they're highly adjustable. So even if you don't, like, I have mine hanging from my pull-up bar because my
Mhm.
rack is bolted into the ground, right? So I'm not going to
Mhm.
pull that rack over. So they don't stretch at all. There's no stretchy stuff to them. And they're highly you can adjust to any height or whatever. Now, let's say you don't have a fancy rack, but you do have a pull-up bar that you have set up in the door at your house. You can hook it to that. Let's say you don't have a pull-up bar in your house hooked to a door somewhere. You can put it through a door. I saw, when I was at Kristen's house, she had a TRX, and Kristen has an area, they call it a gym. The only thing that's in it is a rowing machine and some hand weights. And God, I wish I could think of that system she bought, but I think that cost a lot. It was like a hoity-toity gym looking system, but I don't want to recommend it because I think she paid a lot of money for that thing. She did have the TRX jammed into the door on the back side of the gym, and she uses the TRX over there. Now, how can you use it? Well, you could do a complete workout on it, right? You could do everything from chest flies to chest press to you can push above your head. You could do pull-ups or pull to you, depending on the position you get in. You could do almost every exercise. Now, do I use it for all of that? No, because I have dumbbells and benches and everything else. So, Vinny, why would you have a TRX if you got everything else? I use it to do ab work. That's right. You could do incredible ab work with that thing. So I don't just have the slings where I can hang, on my pull-up bar. I also have the TRX where I can hook it to my feet and do bicycle moves. And I can do, reverse scrunchies and all kinds of stuff, right? I can kick my ass pretty good on that thing, right? So that's why I have it. And every now and then I'll show exercises. Back when I used to do Instagram, I would show exercises with the TRX and that kind of thing. If I ever go back to, I might start showing those on X or on the other thing, the Rumble. At any rate.
So let me just chime in because what I said when you were going to go look for your TRX to show everybody, I went into my Facebook marketplace and put in exercise equipment. And now I live in a small town, so you got to put in a bigger radius. And it's coming up with a ton of stuff. Now, there also is a bunch of sponsored stuff where stuff's selling at retail.
Right.
But there's a lot of things like, this guy selling a workout bench for $30. There's a whole weeder thing for $180. There's a treadmill elliptical for $50. I don't know. Maybe it's something worth just grabbing and then you wear it out, then you get rid of it. I don't know, but like.
And I've had people find Schwinn spinners that retail for like $900.
Yeah.
On one of the Facebook type places for under $200. Brand new. People just hung clothes on them.
Yeah.
Right during the pandemic, there was a guy, he had a bunch of equipment. He was trying to open a second gym and he saw what was going on. And
he had to downsize.
I had to drive 300 miles. And luckily I have a truck. And I went down there and bought a bunch of old York plate weights, the original Yorks, right? That people are dying to have. Several 100 pounds of that. Got an old split York bar in perfect shape. It's just sitting right over here. I still use it. And that was the beginning of what I called my prison gym, right? And that guy and I didn't even haggle with him over price, right? This guy was hurting a little bit, needed some money. His gym was shut down. And whatever he asked, I paid for it. But it was at an incredible price.
Yeah.
I could have haggled that guy down probably another 20, 30%. I would have felt like shit driving all the way home if I'd done that. There's always a deal to be had. Someone always needs money. And
there's a lot. But I also will say there probably is some bullshit in here too. Like this one always comes up I swear, ever since I turned 50. By the way, AARP did not come after me, but this ad comes up all the time in my feed and it drives me nuts. Have you seen this? the little like where you sit and supposedly do an elliptical, you're just pedaling while you're sitting. It makes no sense to me. Unless you tell me that that's legit, I will be shocked. But it
Well,
looks
no, because
stupid as hell to me.
it's so cheaply done. You know, one of my toys that I made for
She's just on her iPad playing Bejeweled,
right. The
Candy
idea
Crush,
is,
like
you know,
doing her
look,
little pedal
here's the
thing.
thing, and if you're my parents' age and you're sitting there anyway, and you could get some
Okay,
get a little
I hear
circulation
that.
going to your feet, that's one thing. I made an actual version of that had, you know, crank arms at, you know, 175 centimeter, you know, the whole thing, just like bicycle and the whole thing. And it actually had gears in it to where you can actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
And they had grippy things and straps so you can strap it to the chair so it's not pushing away from you. And you know, it turned any chair into an actual recumbent bike. And you were able to use it like that. I made one of those as part of one of the toys I made. And of course, nobody wanted, there was like, people are going to sweat too much. They don't want to sweat up a chair. Like, all right, well, maybe they can get a chair that they can sweat in. But it turned any chair into an actual recumbent bike, not this bullshit thing. At any rate, there's ways around having to go to a gym. But let's say you can go to a gym. Let's say you might have a bench in your house, a straight bar, meaning a barbell, and some hand weights, meaning dumbbells. So whether you have that or going to the gym, you could do everything. Every exercise was created off of barbells and dumbbells. End of story. So you can get a full workout at your house if you have that equipment. Some people do, some people don't. Okay. All you have to do, and we've had Fred Hahn on this show. We've had Ben Boquijio. We've had all these people. I go back to the old Arthur Jones method. If you can push, pull, and do legs, you're good. Then you just have to decide how much of that you want to do. Write this down, folks. If you work those muscles once a week and you work them hard enough, meaning you take them to failure once a week, you do one push routine, one pull routine, and one leg routine, or you do them all on the same day, once a week. You can pretty much maintain your muscle. Okay? Pretty much. Now, as you get older, sarcopenia starts kicking your ass even more, so good luck. If you do push, pull, legs twice a week, you can cause hypertrophy, meaning muscle growth.
I was going to say hypertrophy. That sounds scary.
Yeah, you can get enough. You're not just stimulating your muscles to stay where you are. You're now causing more recruitment of muscle fiber by using it more. Okay. There you go, well, Vinny, what if I do it 3 times a week? Nothing wrong with 3 times a week, but here comes the but. Studies show that doing a muscle 3 times a week does not add anything to it. As a matter of fact, you can start injuring yourself. If you're a steroid head, you can get away from it because steroids allow you to recuperate quicker. Of course, they'll kill you. So I would suggest that you never get into steroids. But you'll go, well, I saw this bodybuilding guy on YouTube and he was saying 3 times a week. Yeah, he's taking drugs. Okay? He's a drug abuser. And those people can sometimes get away with that, and they're recuperating quicker, and the drugs are doing things that your body doesn't do on its own. Good luck with that down the road. I would not suggest you do that. If you go past 3 times a week, you're going to definitely get hurt. Stay at 2 times a week per muscle group. So let's say Monday you're going to push. I'm just using Monday because we need to start on one day of the week, and Monday is the first day of the new week.
Okay.
Or is it Sunday? What's the first day of the week? It's Sunday, right? But we're going to say it's Monday. Let's say you're pushing. So you go to the gym. So everything you're going to do is you're going to push away from you, right? So there's 3 motions you can do. You can push straight out in front of you in that direction. It's like a push-up or a bench press, right? You can push over your head. That's a shoulder press when you're lifting above your head. You can push in a downward motion. And that's a good example of that is doing a dip. How many, how much, how far do I go? Well, that depends on the amount of time and what you're trying to accomplish. If you're a noob to the whole thing, if you did bench press to failure, either 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets, I'm not a fan of doing multiple sets past 3, right? What are you doing at that point? So
Right.
whether you're doing 1 set to failure, or as I like to do, warm up, medium set, and then a 3rd set all out. That's the way I like to do it. You tend not to get hurt when you do that. Of course, if you know how to do 1 set to failure correctly, you won't get hurt. It's good to have a coach when you're doing that. But once you tax your chest, that's all you can do. Now, what about chest flies?
What about them?
If you want to do that, I always suggest to people, do it before you do bench press. Well, Vinnie, I can't lift as much on the bench. Exactly. It's called working out. It's not called a massage. You're there to stress
You're
your
not
muscles.
supposed to take a nap on the bench?
Yeah, you're not going to do as much weight on the bench, but if you pre-exhaust your muscles on the flies and then you go to the bench, you've done everything you can do to that pec, right? Well, what about incline? You could do that too. It works the top part of your pec, right? But if you're going to do incline, I would tell you to cut down 1 set on bench. So you might end up doing a beginning set and then a hard set and then going to incline. There's no reason to do a gazillion sets of all of this stuff. I don't care who says it. I've been in the gym my entire life. It's just don't overwork it. I see people my age overworking themselves. My friend Matthew, for one, that guy, he's great build on him. I see him wearing himself out in the gym and he doesn't have to do it. He would get better results if he cut it back a bit. Okay. Then after that, you can go to shoulder press. But wait, I want to work the outside girdle of my shoulder, the delts. I want to get those delts. I want to look like a bunch of bananas on the end of my shoulders, right? Like I see the rest and the football players and all that. Okay. Best way to do that is to do front lateral raise first with dumbbells, front dumbbell raises, followed by side dumbbell raises, side delts, and then you do your shoulder press, right? Go to failure. If you want to do high pulls, even though that's a pull exercise, it's actually working your shoulders. You can do them right there. Notice I didn't say rear delt yet because we're going to do that on a different day. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to finish up with dips, 2 or 3 sets of dips, that's going to work your delts again. It's going to work your triceps even harder than they have been worked. And it's going to work the lower part of your chest. I like doing dips. And now most people can do them because every gym have these, these dip style machines, right? Where you can take some of the weight off of your body. You can do dips. That leads you to your second day. Oh, if you want to do triceps, 2 types of people do triceps. Bodybuilders and gay guys, because gay guys are built like bodybuilders.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of just doing big time arm exercises because you get this imbalance. I like the symmetry of a body more than, let's see how big we get our biceps and triceps. I like when it all matches all the way around, right? So that's why I've done the triceps already. I don't need to do more. The next day, you're going to do pull. That's going to be Tuesday. Pull. There's only 2 ways you can pull to your body. You can pull from above and you can pull from right in front of you, a rowing motion. How you do that, I don't care. So you want to do pull-ups, knock yourself out. You want to do a wider grip, lat pull, fine. Do not go much wider than shoulder width. You'll see these things, these bars where you get your arms way out. You're begging for it. I get it. The bodybuilders do it. Again, they do a lot of things. Get your hands a little wider than shoulder width, and that's where your grip should be. Do warm up, medium set, heavy set. Then if you want to go to a close grip, you know, the low A-frame bar where you're holding it in here. The way I always feel about that is I've already done the warm up, so I'll just do the medium set and the heavy set and then move on. Right. On the right after I do that, I always like to do pullovers. It's an old-timey exercise. Sometimes there's a pullover machine in your gym. If not, there are dumbbells you lay across a bench. Go look on the YouTube. You'll see people doing pullovers or using a pullover machine. If your gym has a pullover machine, use that. The old-timey style, if you don't know what you're doing, you can get hurt. After that, I like to row. Now, you could do cable rows in the gym. If you have a home gym, you probably don't have a cable row situation unless you're rich and you got a lot of room. But you do have dumbbells, which is my second favorite, is my all-time favorite, but it's the second exercise I do. I always warm up on the rows and then I go to the one-arm dumbbell row. Put your left knee, your left hand on the bench. Your back is parallel to the floor. And then you lift that you lift that dumbbell to your navel and then ease it down and switch and go back and forth 3 times. All right. If you want to use a old-timey barbell, you know, stick one in the corner. You see that a lot. I have what's called a mortar thing where you just stick it in there. It's made by Rogue. It's sitting on the edge of my thing. I'll stick the bar in there and I'll do the old style, you know, one end of the bar row, right? Some people just stick it in the corner somewhere, but you're going to mar up the wall, so be careful. That's all I have to say about rowing. Now, with back, you can also do adductions. If you want to know what an adduction is, go check it out on YouTube. For me to explain it here on this podcast, you're in a subway or somewhere right now listening, you're not going to pick it up. But that's another good exercise for your back, just like the pullovers, and it's going to also work the serratus muscles right there in your rib cage. When you're done with that, if you like to do curls, just like the bodybuilders and the gay guys, knock yourself out. Again, I like the symmetry without doing them. That's the way I roll. All right. I'm going to get to day 3 in just a second. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to put my mic on silent and let Anna tell you guys about Villa Capelli, and I'm going to get a sip of water.
Oh, well, if you want a break from all this exercising, you should do some shots of Villa Capelli. That sounds crazy. When you're new to NSNG, nobody believes that you would actually just drink it straight. But for me personally, I'm speaking a lot into a microphone during the day, and I don't want to have a snack that will make my teeth, you know, get food in my teeth or make me feel like my mouth is making a strange noise. So I love to actually do shots of olive oil as a snack. Vinny, I know, likes to put a little sea salt in there. You could drop a little bloop of balsamic vinegar if you wanted to. But it's truly a wonderful olive oil made by Villa Capelli from Puglia, Italy. They make it over there. Steven sends it over here. And we talk about it on the podcast. We've been talking about it since the beginning of this podcast, long before they ever became sponsors. Go to villacapelli.com and use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE. You'll get 10% off your order each and every time you order. We strongly recommend you go straight to the 3-liter tin. If you don't believe us, get an assortment of things. Get the oil, get some salts, get some fun things that they have on site, some flavored oils. And everything is pure. Everything's natural. No sugar, no grains. You're going to eat it in marinades. You're going to eat it in salad dressings. You're going to eat it to saute vegetables and meats in. It's truly the elixir of the gods. So make sure that your cart is somewhere around the size of $140 to $150, because then when you use the discount code Vinnie, VINNIE, to get your 10% off your order, it knocks your cart size down to enough to qualify for free shipping. That's our little tip that we give, despite the fact that I'm sure it pisses off Steven. But go to villacapelli.com, get your olive oil, and enjoy.
There you have it, folks. Moving on to legs. Don't skip leg day. So now it's Wednesday. And by the way, the 2 routines I just gave you, if you're not out of the gym in 35, 40 minutes, you did something wrong. You know, you don't have to spend all day in the gym. Now, leg day may take a little longer because there's a couple of extra components there. The squat is still my number 1 leg exercise. I never start on squats, ever. I like to warm up. I like to grease the skids. So I'll do a couple of sets, at least one set of lunges, 20 on each leg. And then I'll put the bar on my back, a 45-pound bar, and do, 15, 18 like that. And then I'll load a little more weight on there. I don't get specific about my weights because I don't want people to go, well, that's what Vinny does. And I'll do a third set. Really get some blood going in my knees, synovial fluid going in my hip joints, my ankles, the whole thing, really warmed up. And then at that, I generally don't go to squats. Now, I'll do the thing, I don't know what they call the machine, but it's a new type of thing where you put the weight around your waist, you put the strap around your waist and you squat down. It's a squat machine where you take your lower back out of it. So there's videos of The Rock using one online. You'll see a lot of people using it. So if you belong to a gym, you can do that if they have that particular piece of equipment. I'll do 3 sets there. See, I'm trying to wear my ass out as much as possible before I touch a squat. And then I'll do 3 sets really deep, light squats. I never go heavy on those anymore. I'm just too old to do it. I've already worn my legs out and I don't have to get heavy with the weight on my lower back. And I get the squats in and really, you start to feel them, especially if you lower yourself slowly, control the weight, that sort of thing. After that, I'll do one of 2 things. I might go to the leg press machine and knock out 2 or 3 sets, full range of motion, or I'll go over and do deadlift, right? I switch these things up every time. You don't have to do everything. I know the ladies, because all the young girls come up to me at the gym and they go, hey, you're the guy, how do I get my ass? They love to do the weighted hip thrust, right? Some gyms have machines where you can do that. Other gyms, you just have to use a rack and get the weight on your hips and you do the hip thrust, right? It will help put back on baby, right? So if you want to do that, you do that at the end, right? End up with that. Notice I didn't mention leg extensions, leg curls. I do them, not every time. I do them maybe every other time. I'll do 2 or 3 sets of leg curls, 2 or 3 sets of leg extensions, and leave it at that. It's not an exercise you have to do every time. When you work your whole leg, the way I was just explaining, you will cover those muscles. Okay. Now, why does legs take a little longer than everything else? Well, now there's another part of your leg. Actually, it's the only part of your leg. You were just working your butt and your quads, right? Your hamstrings. But there's calf muscles. And most gyms have some 2 or 3 different ways that you can work your calf, right? Heel raises, calf raises, whatever you want to call them. The only way to get that muscle to grow, if it's going to grow at all, is to do 3 sets, 4 sets, and you got to go failure. Every single set, you got to go failure. It's a very tough muscle to grow. You've been using those muscles your whole life from the time you learned how to walk. So if you want them to stay strong, you have to really bang them out. And that's legs. Notice the one thing I skipped talking about was doing abs. I mentioned at the beginning when we were talking
You did.
TRX machine. People think I must do abs every day, even at my age. You go, man, you're ripped out. What's the routine? I stick abs in twice a week. And I am not kidding when I tell you it's 3 sets. Sometimes it's 3 sets of the same thing on one slanted board. Sometimes it's, with my gravity boots. If you ever saw the movie American Gigolo, Richard Gere upside down, you look like a bat and you're lifting yourself up. You're upside down. It might be 3 sets of those. It could be 3 sets in my slings. It could be, 3 sets using the TRX. Sometimes when I'm at the gym, I'll do 1 set on the slant board, one set over on the Roman chair, and one set on the slings. That's 3 sets. The key to great abs, the key is to go to failure and figure out how you can go to failure without doing a ton of reps, which means you're going to slow the F down like there's no tomorrow. Slow way down. Feel the exercise on the way up, feel it on the way down, feel the muscles working, get that burn going. By the time you get to 12, 15, 18 reps, you feel like you want to throw up because you got all that acid going right into the middle part of your body. Once a week is fine. Twice a week is great. More than twice a week, not needed. Okay. And that's it.
good.
Anna, any questions?
No, I mean, listen, if you go back between this, I mean, that's really thorough for being brief. It's very thorough.
Yeah.
I tell you what, you guys listen. And if you have more follow-up questions, send them to me and I will do a follow-up Q&A with Vinnie.
And I'm sure tonight's the 31st, I'm doing the VIP group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to probably talk about this a little bit in the VIP group because there's been a good, cross section of questions in the VIP group.
Yeah.
It goes from diet to, hey, I'm losing my motivation, all the way to how do I do this exercise, that exercise. So if you're in the VIP group, be sure to show up because a lot of these questions get answered in more detail. And I never know what people's questions are until they ask them. Right. So that's always a big deal. It's like, well, how do you know what people want to hear? They got to ask me the question first, or I can just keep meandering. Right. There's so much you could talk about when you want to talk about training. It's just a ton of stuff. So,
yeah,
and by the way, we've closed off this is not me selling the VIP. It's closed.
Right.
You can't, if you're not in, you ain't getting in. I may open it up in 2 months.
You should sell it because people should be members because it's a great service that you offer and it's not a lot of money. So don't feel.
But it's not open right now. If you guys want to know when we're going to open it again,
then they missed out.
Go to VinnieTortorich.com/VIP, put your name in, and the next time we open up registration, you can get in. But I like to keep it somewhat exclusive. And the people that are in there are really enjoying it.
Exclusive.
So, yes, it's exclusive. It's VIP. That stands for very important person, Anna. That's what it stands for.
I'm Vinnie Tortorich.
Yeah.
Everything's exclusive.
Everything's a woman said to me the other day on the X. She goes, hey, I had a question for this guy, but I don't want to pay $16 to have to ask him a question. I was like, $16? What?
I just felt, what do the kids say? Triggered. I just felt majorly triggered when you said, like, I had a rush of triggering in my body when you just said that.
Well, I was confused because
someone's complaining about $16.
Wait, here's the thing. I thought through it and I went, I don't offer anything that's $16. Right. And
was it somebody else?
Well, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I wrote back to her and I said, hey, I answered questions and everyone else jumped on it. They shouldn't have jumped on it. He answers every question here every day for free. What are you talking about? I've never paid him a dime. And my question to her was, I don't offer, you could buy.
Yeah. What are you talking about? I don't offer. Yeah.
You can join the group for $24.95.
Right. It's $10. It's $24. Yeah. The price point doesn't match.
So I was like, are you sure? Is someone else scamming and using my name? $16. I broke out into a cold sweat. It turns out that on Twitter, you have to be verified to talk to other people. Like, if you're not verified, the other person has to follow you if you're unverified or something.
Oh, you mean to like DM you a question?
Yeah. So you got to get the super duper Twitter where you pay.
Whatever. I'm not paying the money.
$16.
Right.
And I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am. That's not me. That's Twitter. You go take that up with Twitter. I'll answer any question you want if you ask me.
Yeah, but you have to ask it publicly.
Public Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can join my group. But if you're not going to pay $16, you're not going to pay $24.95.
No.
So.
Oh no. I had somebody write recently and it was somebody I know who's a super fan. So it was really perplexing, but like something about Substack, I started a Substack newsletter to
Right.
supplement what it's expensive for all the groceries and putting all the stuff out. And so there are a few premium members, and I thank you. You guys are the best. But for
Right.
the most part, people subscribe for free.
Right.
And but Substack hosts that whole platform. I have no control over anything like unsubscribe. You have to do it through the Substack thing. And it kind of would be like if somebody kept writing unsubscribe to your Instagram, you'd be like, just unfollow me. Like you have to do it through Instagram. I can't like,
Right.
anyway, actually, that's probably not a good analogy. Anyway, so she wrote like, I'm trying to get to one of your recipes, but it's behind a paywall. And it's like everyone has a subscription these days, or everyone's trying to charge these days. And first of all, it was a free recipe she was referencing, so it wasn't
Right.
even behind a paywall. But I'm
Right.
sure Substack put something up like, do you want to subscribe? And you could put your email address in and then you could subscribe, but nothing paid. And I was just like, yeah, you know what? Some of us want to make a living. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, I do have a subscription and it's very worth it. It's very worth it.
And it would be like this. It would be like someone walking up to a cashier in the grocery store and going, you know what? I really want this piece of meat, but all of you guys want money for this. What's the deal? Every time I walk into a grocery store, what's wrong with you people? You want money for this meat?
Well, you wouldn't do that because you value the meat because you're receiving, but they don't value information at the same
Right.
rate.
It's
But
like
just,
all of you guys
whatever.
want money for your information.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this is what we do for a living. Sorry.
Yeah, I do want to be able to pay my bills because sometimes I put enough of my own tens of thousands of dollars into the company, and sometimes I need to charge money for things. But it's fine, and I don't want to come
nuts. People,
it does drive me nuts, but people will say things. I'm always like, you scroll on, then scroll on.
it's like the
not
nickel and
reading.
diming lady
Yes.
when we turned it into a $10 PDF. $10.
Yeah, I know.
$10.
One guy
So
lost his
sometimes
mind.
gotten hundreds of thousands of people lose millions of pounds. I said, okay, now it's $10 after what, 9 years of it?
Do you know the dumb shit I spend my money on? I've spent money on dumb shit over the years. That would be the smartest $10 I could spend my money on.
But to sit there and go, I'm tired of him nickel and diming. That was the first fucking thing I charged for.
I know. Trust me, it did get under my skin. I wrote a polite response, but I still was like, come on, like let me charge for things if I want to. You can choose to say no. That is not a problem. That is your prerogative, but it's also my prerogative to make money. Anyway, I know we're not doing a whole big thing about that, but I saw somebody on Instagram. I can't even remember who the account was. And I really liked their content and I followed them and I noticed, I was like, oh, they have 1.4 million followers on Instagram and no blue check button. And I thought that's so refreshing that someone's not trying to do the blue check thing. I was like, I don't know, something about that. I was like, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It's all just,
it's a lot of pay to play and it gets frustrating when you're in the business.
Yeah, I get it. By the way,
yeah.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk cardio or you want to wait till next week?
No, it's too much of a thing.
Okay, good. Because I have a lot of questions about cardio.
So write down next week, cardio 101.
Well, we're recording next week tomorrow because I have to go out of town. So we will do that.
The audience doesn't know that, Anna.
But I'm saying it out loud so they can see how the sausage is made.
Yeah, that's how Anna makes sausage. Speaking
without sugar.
I was at Harris Teeter last night. And I'm looking at the steak on the Vic special. It's a T-bone, but they're out. I said, you got any more in the bag? No, this is it. But there was a piece of meat next to it. And I never go for this. They already put seasoning on the meat.
Oh.
What are they trying to hide there? Right. They see, this is our steak seasoning. So I asked them what it was. It was just salt and black pepper and crusted black pepper and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And
that's not bad. Usually they put some crud or some sunflower oil or something.
No, they didn't do any of that. So
that's
I said,
good.
hey, but what kind of meat is under that? And it's like, oh, the guy goes, actually is Wagyu or Wagyu or whatever you say. And I went,
damn.
Really? And it's only $14.95 because Wagyu is always like $40 or something.
I was gonna say like $39.99.
And it was a New York strip. And I'm like,
oh.
I said, how big is that piece right there? Because it was $14 a pound. And he put it on the scale.
It's a really good price.
It was like 12 and a half ounces. So I went, And he goes, you know what? I'm reading right here. This is on sale too. I got a piece of Wagyu, almost 13 ounces. I got it for $7 and something. Under
$8.
The best piece of meat. Folks, I'm telling you, I get it. Meat is expensive.
It is.
Shop around, go around. We have 2 or 3 different
Mhm.
stores we go to on different days. I went there because I knew there would be some Vic special on a porterhouse or something like that. They were out of it, and there was something else.
Yep.
Right?
Oh, I do it too. I do it on Wednesday. My Pirate Pass
Yeah.
over at New Frontiers every Wednesday, 15% off. That's the day I shop there. Stock on up.
Thursday, I get old man price over at Teeter, extra 5% off of everything you
That's
buy.
good.
So there are ways to get things cheaper. I'm just telling you, I know this sounds expensive sometimes, but it's not. The thing that's always seems to be free is the stuff Anna Vocino puts out at annavocino.com and also eathappykitchen.com. So go check that out.
Yeah, a lot of recipes. No lack of recipes. There are recipes behind a paywall and also
Yeah.
recipes in a book that you have to pay for.
Mhm.
Oh, somebody did ask me about the new cookbook. Will it be for sale on my site for a PDF? No, but it will be at all the places like Nook, Kindle, all the this book, this third book, I'm not putting it out. A
Right.
publisher named Ben Bella Publishing is putting it out. That means I do not own the rights. I will not be able to put it on sale like how I do my Kindles. They are in charge of all of that. They're in charge of the pricing, every single thing. But that being said, you can still get the Kindle version and you don't have to have a Kindle. You can get a Kindle app on your phone. That's how I read at night, is the Kindle app on my phone. But so I just wanted to throw that out there. It's a regular old book, but I won't be selling the PDF version on my website because I do not own the rights to it.
I can't wait for that book to come out.
Thank you for your blurb, by the way.
Oh, I can't wait for you
That was
guys
very
to read
nice of
my
you.
blurb.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the best blurbs you will ever read.
I
on a
think it's
book.
one of the best blurbs ever to have blurbed.
Yeah. Yeah, it may win Blurb Award of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. We still have some pucked up barbecue, which by the way, today I dropped a package for you at UPS and it includes some pucked up barbecue. So you're going to have to use the fork to jam it loose, but it's perfectly good. At this point, I think it's 4.5 months old. And then also a listener, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, like literally a year ago, he sent me 2 knives and you a knife.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so nice. And I love the knives. And as soon as when I'll look and give him a shout out, and yours is arriving, including the letter he wrote to you. So I put that in with their barbecue, and I hope UPS sends knives. They send knives, right? Like if you ordered a knife from Sir
I think they
send you a
do.
knife.
Did
I break the law? Am I breaking the law?
No, I don't think so. This Green Beret guy sent me, made a knife and it says NSNG on the knife.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And he makes these knives, and it's when I got it, and Jesus Christ, this is I know something about knives. This is like an incredible knife. This guy, he does everything. He forges the steel and the whole thing. And I was like, man, this is probably worth $500-600. It's got to be.
Did you hawk it?
No, it's got NSNG on one side, my name on the other side. Well, how would I hog that? And he did the handle in mahogany wood. It's just an amazing.
Wow.
It was a few years ago, and one day I saw one of his knives online. I saw a knife and I went, man, that looks similar to mine. I looked at it, and it was the same guy. It was this Green Beret guy and the whole thing. I went to his website. The knife he gave me as a gift, an NSNG gift, he sells for just under $2,000. Yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Because these are like
now you have a pension plan. So
yeah,
if you need to flip that knife, you can flip it.
I can flip it
for a profit.
By the way, I take it with me camping, and I use it as my bear knife. Whenever I'm out, because it's just short enough that if ever I'm in trouble on the trail, that's something I can get in my hand really fast if I have to. Put it right in the bear's heart. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
I was thinking of getting the Ken Onion sharpener, but then it's not as fun because it was better when you did it and then we just talked and then I wasn't doing it. You know what I mean?
You got it with the Ken Onion sharpener. You need to know what you're doing. Like it's not
like with the right grade of.
You got to get the right angle and everything else. You don't just sharpen knives willy nilly.
Yeah, all these knife sharpener ads come up in my Instagram and I read the reviews and it's always like, it works great. And then it sucks. So I'm like, I'm not getting that. It's too many mixed reviews. But also the lady up at Solvang Knives, she sharpens them for $5 a knife. So, and she does a good job. So it's
You
like,
can't beat that. I know it's not as much fun as coming in my little
yeah,
I
no,
sharpen axes and shovels and everything else. I like to keep a nice sharp on the shovel. They work just so much
yeah.
better. So what I do is I have a bench grinder in my garage. I even sharpen
Mm,
my own blades on my lawnmowers. Um,
smart.
I have a bench grinder and I'm pretty good at getting a good angle on them, but then I always finish them with a hand file. Yeah, you get in there, you get the main part down, but that hand file, you go nice and slow and you get what you want.
So you're
Right.
just zenning out while you're doing this.
Oh
You're
yeah,
just,
yeah. I could take if I could, I could take one of my shovels and shave. That's how sharp I get these things. I got them jeweled on the end. And then Serena goes and bangs them up all over the place on the rocks
yeah.
in the garden. And then,
Yeah, we ruin
"Hey,
things.
honey, she was like, yeah, but these tools are made to be used. I know, but never mind. Um, at any rate, that's why my lawn looks so good. You keep that lawnmower blade sharp and you're not just pushing that grass over. You're not, no, you want to cut that shit, baby.
The neighbors are going to be jealous of you.
Oh yeah. I see Hank over there eyeing
He's looking.
the guy. Yeah, he's looking. He's looking. They're all looking. I see the other.
They all look.
I
They
see
all look.
Rod down the street looking over when I'm cutting. Yeah, I see what they're
The
doing.
grass is always greener.
Folks, you know what to do with me. We all go shopping on Amazon before you go there. Go to VinnieTortorich.com. Click through the banner. It puts coal on the fire, gets my train down the track. Something that won't cost you a dime. Rate and review this podcast. Rate it and review it. Now, I understand a lot of people listen to this podcast because they hate me. I would appreciate it if you guys did not rate and review. So you guys take a knee. Don't do anything. Just sit there, sit on your hands. Don't start rating and reviewing with the 1 star. We want the 5 stars and the whole thing. That's how other people find this show. So go do that. We're done, Anna?
We did it. Wonderful. I want to go. Oh, I'm gonna go do some Pilates. I'm still doing a little baby workouts because incisions in the belly and whatnot are healing and I feel great. And I'm gonna go do some. I need to do more abs.
Well, before you do abs, you're going to listen to a little Crosby, Stills, Nash. And
Great.
I'm young. I'm talking about the Southern Cross, folks. On behalf of Anna Vocino, my name is Vinnie Tortorich. Put life into living and do it with enthusiasm.